Excellent. I think we can start. So again, a very warm welcome to the Stelios Foundation Young Entrepreneur Awards in the UK for 2026. This is a hybrid ceremony, which is the new normal, as you know, with several people from the Stelios Foundation and the three winners in the room at our London headquarters at 34 Thurlow Square, and other people, including me, zooming in from the outside. I'm zooming in from my office in Monaco. We have the previous year's winner zooming in as well to tell us how we should spend the money. And I think I'm going to give a couple of more minutes to people. I see there are more people in the waiting room. I'd like to say in very brief terms that I think this is a very good way to stimulate the economy of a country, of a community, if you like. Because if you encourage young people to create new startups, you are creating new jobs in the economy. Small companies, startups are the ones that create the new jobs. Big companies don't always create new jobs. Sometimes they make people redundant. So encouraging young people to create their own business and create their own company in the UK is a very good way to stimulate the UK economy. So I think we can start now. Can I have the first slide, please, Maya? So we started on time at 11 o'clock GMT, and I expect this to last about 45 minutes. We're going to keep it on time. On-time departure, as we know, is very important in the airline business, and we're going to keep it the same here. May I have the next slide? Like all entrepreneurs, I mean, we're going to hear from 4 other entrepreneurs on this Zoom today. So like all entrepreneurs, I'm not going to give up an opportunity to promote myself and my business. So before we get into the awards and the giving back to society, I'd like to explain that the Stelios Foundation, as a UK registered charity, is funded by donations for my for-profit company, which is called Easy Group Limited. So Easy Group Limited is the creator and owner of the Easy family of brands that owns all the brands you know about, starting with the most famous EasyJet and Easy Hotel and Easy Storage and all the others. And I've created for myself this recurring income stream, which I use to give back to society. So the profits of Easy Group are donated to the Stelios Foundation that does the giving back. So rather than me talking for much longer, I have created this 3-minute video, which has been viewed on YouTube for 37 million times in a couple of months. So unashamedly, we're going to show the video one more time. And I'm going to stay quiet for the next 3 minutes.
Easy history. How Stelios created the Easy family of brands more than 3 decades ago, and how he gives back to society via the Stelios Foundation.
Stelios believes he can make flying as easy as getting on and off a bus and almost as cheap.
Invest with easymoney.com, part of the Easy family of brands. Save with easycleaning.biz, part of the Easy family of brands.
Staff from one rival EasyJet tried to hijack the launch.
Come fly with me, let's fly away.
Flyeasyjet.com, part of the Easy family of brands. Stay at easyhotel.com, part of the Easy family of brands. save money with easystorage.com, part of the Easy family of brands. The Stelios Philanthropic Foundation gives back to society to a diverse range of good causes, but always close to home in the 6 countries that Stelios and his family have lived and worked.
Thank you very much. So back to the presentation. The next slide, please. Next slide. So these are, we skipped our trustees. I think they deserve a mention since most of them are on this call. Okay, let's do the map first. Sorry, the mission statement. All right. This map is the map of the 6 countries where me and my family have lived and worked. And therefore, they are what we call in our foundation's mission statement, close to home. So there might be needier people somewhere else, in the middle of Africa, for example, but if there is someone who needs food in London, I'd rather help them there. These are the 6 countries where me and my family have lived and worked, and we try to direct most of our giving in a diverse way. We have the ability to give in many different ways, from young entrepreneurs like today to food banks in the 5 countries to the neediest. So, but we try to stay close to home. And I should also explain that my foundation has a mission to work in perpetuity. So it is not a spend-down foundation. Well, I will complete my endowment. The endowment would be invested wisely and will continue to give back from its own income in perpetuity. The next slide should have our trustees. So there are 7 trustees, broadly representing the countries we talked about. Next slide. These are our 4 iconic properties. The people in London are in one of them, the one in the top left, but there is a similar property in Greece, in Monaco, and in Cyprus that we make available to other charities to use for free, and we even cover their catering and production costs. So if any of you would like to use the property in London or any of the other 3, please get in touch. And if you are a charity, if you are a not-for-profit, we're willing to make it available to you for free for your own fundraiser and cover the catering and production costs. So whatever you raise on the event, it's yours to keep. We've found this is a very powerful way to embed basically the Stelios Foundation into the local charity community of each of these 4 cities. Next slide, please. Now, entrepreneurship is clearly a cause which is very close to my heart. As I said at the beginning of this session, I believe it's a great way to create new jobs, to stimulate the local economy. So since we started 16, 17 years ago in Greece and Cyprus, we've now expanded this to 7 different awards in these 6 countries. So there are 3 in the UK, including one which actually touches the island of Ireland, 2 in Cyprus, 1 in Greece, and 1 in Monaco and the south of France, the French Riviera, where I'm now. So all of these are the worthy winners of the last year. And today we're going to talk about a particular criteria for selecting entrepreneurs, which is young entrepreneurs. So next slide, please. So just to explain how diverse our giving is, these are some of the charities we have supported in the last year in the UK, starting from the King's Trust. And I think it's a very telling fact that His Majesty has decided to rename the Prince's Trust, that's been around for 50 years, to the King's Trust, so he will continue to be the patron. So we're very proud to be associated with the King's Trust, and I think it's, again, a charity that helps young people with either entrepreneurship or self-employment or employment. And anything from the Earthshot Prize, supported by His Royal Highness Prince William, to the lifeboats and UNICEF and the Red Cross and the Médecins Sans Frontières. So very diverse range of causes. The next slide, please. These are some of the examples of the events we've held in that building in London. So in 34 Thurlow Square, we held events for the Red Cross, the Seafarers Charity, UNICEF, and the National Coast Watch, the patron of which is the Princess Royal. Next slide, please. This is the other end of the spectrum. This is helping the neediest. So we partnered with a well-known food bank in the UK called the Trussell Trust that operate food banks throughout the country. And basically what we did is we've agreed to buy a certain quantity of food. The first donation was this chili con carne. The next donation would be a tomato soup or something like that, but usually is a long shelf life, ready to eat product that beneficiaries can actually take and enjoy themselves without the need for a fridge and without the need for a kitchen. And, you know, in my experience, in all the countries we operate, there's always need for food. There are always people who fall into that, if you like, to that situation and they need some help. Next slide, please. So at this stage, I expect everybody to put up their phone and scan the QR code so you follow us on the LinkedIn page. I'll leave it on the screen for a couple of more seconds. And next slide. So let's talk about the awards now. We have received 61 applications, which is a very good number. The threshold this year has been increased because we're getting too many applications last year. So we're going to make it more and more difficult, if you like, for people to apply. And this year, the revenues must have been at least £500,000 a year. The other two criteria is that it has to be a startup in the last 5 years in the UK. So very simply, we just have a look at the UK Companies House records. And the founder and, you know, at least 50% shareholder has to be younger than 34 years old. Now, the reason I set the criteria at the age of 34 is that I have a particular affinity to the age of 27, 28 for starting a business. That's how old I was when I started EasyJet. So when I embarked on this dream to create EasyJet and the Easy Family brands, I was 27. And I had this lunch here in Monaco with my father, and I told him that I'd like to get out of the shipping business because it's a B2B business and you cannot build a brand, and I want to build a famous brand. So at 27, 28, you know roughly what you're doing, but you have no idea how much business risk we're taking. That's why I'm encouraging all these young entrepreneurs to do exactly that. Start a business at that age, and by the age of 32, 33, 34, win an award. So congratulations to all the applicants, all 61 of them, very worthy. If you haven't won this year and you're still young enough, apply next year. And it's always a difficult decision for the judges, but here we are. I had to make a decision. So the next slide, please. I like that page because it just shows that in only 2 years, we've managed to find and recognize 6 very interesting, very worthy businesses. So all of these are startups that have won in the last 2 years. 6 companies in 2 years, and they're all doing very well. And some of them are very, very famous already, like the Bean Company, and others are more B2B, like the construction company or things like that. But they're all doing very well, and I'm very proud of them and very proud to be associated with them. So Next slide, please. So I'd like to invite the last year's winner to say a few words. So can we show the next slide and locate Ayan? Ayan, can you hear me?
Yes, I'm right here. I hope I'm audible. Can you hear me?
Absolutely. How are you
Right.
doing?
Well, thank you. Thank you for having me.
So how did you spend the money?
That was the most important thing, I guess, minus the introductions. Yeah, well, quickly, this is not about me. This is all about everybody in that room. So huge congratulations from myself, and I hope you take the day to celebrate yourselves, your teams, and everybody that made the journey possible. So I will get to your question in a moment, says Stelios, but a little bit of an intro. I run a company called Digitech Oasis, and we develop, design, and build autonomous robotic systems, providing an end-to-end solution essentially for supply chain. So business to business, and I know Stelios has his views on business to business businesses, but I thoroughly enjoy it, and we're teams across the US, the UAE, in Kenya, and also based in Manchester. In terms of how we spent the money, well, the most important was applying for certain licenses. I think in this industry, it's important to be compliant, and we had several licenses that cost a lot of money to apply for. So that was one thing that we spent the money on. The second thing is what I, of course, spoke about last year in that very room, whereby I'm super keen and always keen to support youth and young women in entering STEM fields. So I'm pleased to say that we managed to support at least 200 students in the last 12 months in gaining Industry 4.0 skills, and that was done through partnerships with local universities and either through directly our summer placements or working with those universities to support and sponsor hackathons, workshops, deliver lectures across the Northwest region. So super proud of that. And of course, we aim to continue. And the big goal is to support a figure of 3,000 students in the local area in the next 3 years. So hopefully we get our target. And yeah, the third way that we spend the money was securing additional inventory. I know we spoke about a manufacturing facility, but it takes a lot of time, a lot of money, a lot of investment. So we have been working on it, but so far, I wish I could be here to say we built the manufacturing facility, but we haven't. But we did secure.
Let me say that you shouldn't listen to people like me that say you should be in a B2C business just because you want to build a brand. I think you're absolutely the right industry, robotics.
Yeah.
And I hope and wish to you that you attain the same price to earnings ratio that Elon Musk's businesses get.
Amen.
So that should be your role model. How do I get a PE of 250?
100%. So yes, things have been steady moving, and a couple of updates. We managed to secure a second office out in the UAE. So if you're ever in Dubai Silicon Oasis, we now occupy both the A5 building and the Techno Hub building.
I don't mean to dampen the spirits today, but have you been affected by what's happening in the UAE? How's the situation?
No, so I was actually there for the longest time. Our flights were canceled. So luckily I managed to escape last week and head to Monaco. But everything so far is so good. No complaints on our side. Yeah, business is as usual. So nothing has changed on that front.
There you are. Resilience is an important
Yes,
attribute of an entrepreneur. Well done.
Of course, thank you. And yeah, I'll just end this by saying I hope you guys enjoy your day, and you'll definitely feel like a celebrity if you have any place to go with that big check. Everybody will be staring at you the whole day, so thoroughly enjoy it.
Excellent. Thank you, Ayan. Well done. Round of
Take care.
applause.
Bye.
Bye-bye. The next slide, please. So we're going to do this in inverse order from the third prize first. And the third prize winner for £50,000 is Carl and Adam. Now, Carl and Adam should be in the room. Can we unmute?
Unmuted. Can you hear me?
Absolutely.
Excellent. How are we doing?
So, well done. Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
The floor is yours.
Thank you. Well, firstly, thank you so much for the attention and the opportunity here for everybody involved in the foundation. It's obviously a fantastic opportunity for us to get some exposure and get the endorsement that we are doing something right. I think it was very important for us when we started the business that we added value and added as much value as possible, both to our clients and to the industry. It's a very old industry we're in, and it is good fun. We tend to do more Scotch whisky.
By the way, you should tell them where to turn the slides, okay?
I will do. So a quick introduction. Myself, Adam, I'm the sales, marketing and whisky expert, self-professed. And Carl is unfortunately not here today. He's a bit unwell, but he is the brains behind the operation. And thankfully, he's the guy that loves a spreadsheet. So he does all the hard work while I drink all the good whisky. Next slide, please. So we started our business a couple of years ago. We saw a growing need of people to really get the full benefit of what Scotch whisky is. It's a very big, very commercial industry, but private access is something that's been pretty limited for many, many years. We saw a growing number of people owning whiskey barrels themselves, whether for investment or enjoyment, but we're a little bit stuck as to what comes next. So we wanted to have a kind of end-to-end solution that made that process more enjoyable. So putting expertise at every step of the way, understanding that bottling a whiskey, while it sounds simple, is actually very, very fraught with issues and headaches. So we take all of that away and ultimately create new connections with people all around the world. We have a very global client base, all the way from Singapore and Hong Kong to locally in Scotland and the US as well. So we're building strong connections to both Scotch whisky and Scotland. Next slide, please. So this is our kind of a coined term that we really think sums up what our business does. A lot of people show an interest in whiskey and heritage products like this because they are prestigious, because there's something to be enjoyed, and you might start collecting. But what do you do once you've collected all the whiskey in the world? You start to commission. You can commission your own whiskey. And as I say, it's that real personal connection that makes all the difference for our clients and allows them to really enjoy what we do. Next slide, please. A nice little filler picture here to show you what a problem is with old rare whiskey. This is what a beautiful old dunnage warehouse in Scotland looks like. Turning this into a fantastic product that you can have in your own home. There's a long journey that you go on, but it's the experience and the connection that you can build while you're on that journey. That's really where we focus and add as much value as possible. Next slide, please. Here's a little bit of that journey summed up. So starting off on the left-hand side, we can source and supply old and rare whiskey from all around the world. We have a specialism in Scotch whisky, of course. That's where we're based in Edinburgh. But we can source whiskey from Ireland, Japan, even rum, cognacs and tequilas and so on. So we are tailored spirits. So we are more than just whiskey. But we'll then take you on a design and development program. As you can see that picture in the middle, it's really good fun to dive into. We go so far past personalization, it's creating something and commissioning something that is unique to you. And it's a really good fun journey to take people on. Then we'll go on to the production. You can see this gorgeous picture here. This was a 32-year-old Macallan that we bottled for a private client in London. They've now started their own brand. So this is actually available for sale. I think there's a few bottles available in London currently. A beautiful old whiskey and 32 years old, so quite rare to find. But then the most important part, actually enjoying the whiskey at the other end. So we'll help you ship that anywhere in the world. So you could be in Peru and have your Scotch whisky bottled in Scotland, but how do you actually get it there? And that's the really key part. It's those 4 steps combined, which mean you can get the whiskey from the barrel all the way to where you are in the world to be enjoyed, sold, for a profit, building a brand around it. There's lots of options. Next slide, please. Here's a very quick look at some of the projects we've done recently. One in Singapore. This is probably one of our most prestigious projects. It was, again, a very old and rare Macallan. This is currently available in Singapore. But then on the other side, there's a more personal project. We did this for a private client in Malaysia. So there was a group of 10 very keen whiskey enthusiasts that wanted to celebrate the connection between Asia and Scotland. And our team designed in-house all of these incredible elements. Next slide, please. I just want to say thank you again. A little bit of what our plans are. There was an extra slide just to say what we're planning to do with the money, which is obviously a huge addition to our business, and we're only 2 years in. So this kind of endorsement and, of course, the cash will help us to hire some more people. And creating jobs in Scotland is very important to us. And there's some excellent skills in Scotland that often leave to go to bigger cities, but keeping people in Scotland, creating amazing jobs, and then bringing people to Scotland to enjoy everything that it is, and create new connections is very important to us. So we'll be enjoying some whiskey later. I'll have to send some to you in Monaco, Stelios, so you can enjoy that as well. But thank you so much.
We'll talk about it. Well done. Bravo. Congratulations. You can't hear the virtual round of applause, but I'm sure it's there. Well done. I'm going to remind you of the joke we had during the interview process. So in the Easy Group board, I have some very wise people, and we always said that we prefer to invest in liquid assets. So
It's the best liquid asset, absolutely.
Liquid assets can be an ETF mirroring an index on the stock market, or it could be risky. So invest in liquid assets.
Absolutely, this is the best liquid. We're actually in Monaco in September, Stelios, so we'll bring some whiskey with us, and it'll be great to see you in person.
Absolutely, I'll be here.
Thank you so much.
Congratulations. Thank you.
Thank you.
You want to do the check, Stelios?
Yes. Do you want to do the check? Yeah.
Make Stelios big. That's right.
Yeah, if Santino, can you make Stelios on the screen by himself, please?
Thanks, everybody. Brilliant. Thank you, everyone. That's good.
Great, well done.
Right. So can we have the room again so I can see what's going on? Right. So the second prize for £100,000 goes to the cusp. So congratulations. Welcome. You're in the room.
Thank you so much. Can you hear me? There we go.
Absolutely.
Amazing. Thank you so much. That's amazing.
So tell us a bit about yourself and your business. And
Yeah, absolutely. Floor is ours.
You just had a baby as well, isn't it?
We just had baby. The baby is here with us. Yeah.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Hopefully she won't kick off. We'll see. Amazing, thank you. So I'll give you a little bit of an overview about us, about the cusp. Maya, if you pop onto the next slide. Amazing, thank you. So we are a full service marketing agency. So myself and my co-founder, who is also in the audience there, Louise Rengozi, launched in 2023. So for us, we provide a wide range of services to our clients. So from creative and display to digital marketing services, and really the idea of creating a company was born out of a couple of things. So number one for us was that we had worked in bigger marketing agencies, and we saw that within the kind of economic climate there was a need for faster, cheaper agencies. The marketing budgets were being stretched, and so we took a lean and agile model and knew that we could work to that. We're also based in Swansea, which maybe isn't an area that's known for its creative and digital work. However, there is amazing talent in the region, and we really wanted to showcase that on a global stage. And then finally, I think sometimes marketing agencies have a bit of a mad men reputation, and I guess we wanted to dispel that and show that you could be not just a female leader, but a female founder, and that you could be profitable, but also do positive things and make a positive impact as well. So Maya, on the next slide, there we go. So just some of the clients that we work with and our kind of client experience. So we do have quite a clear sector focus. So our clients tend to be within the education, AI and innovation, government and engineering sectors. And we're very proud that we have kind of worked on our promise of making sure that we showcase the talent that is in our region globally. So from starting off in year one, we were very much a local agency, to year two becoming a regional agency, a wider region agency. Year three now in 2025, over half of our profit came from international markets. So we've been able to showcase the talent that is here on that global stage, and we're very proud of that. On the next slide, there we go. So We are also proud, so as a business, the first thing that's important to us is making sure that we are profitable and that we as a business are financially viable, and we've been able to do that. So from 2023 up to 2025, number one, from the very start of the business, we've been profitable, but number two, we've grown to just over 2 million of revenues in 2025 and hopefully even more in 2026 as well. And for that is the most important thing for us is as a business is making sure we are profitable. But then there is also a passion that goes beyond the numbers within the business for us as well. So on the next slide, you can see some of the broader work that we do. So yes, as a business, we need to make sure that the numbers are great. But then also the second thing that's really important to us is making an impact. So we do a lot of work, and from the very outset of the company, we have made a pledge to make sure that we are supporting others in a similar, although much smaller way as you are doing, Stelios. So one of the areas that's really important to us is youth engagement. So we do lots of work in supporting young entrepreneurs, in supporting a girls' football team, in providing Generation Alpha one as well, so always good to showcase those. And we also celebrate others as well. So we've got an amazing LinkedIn podcast that we do called Marketing Heroes, which is not about us at all. What it is about bringing on guests of all different shapes and sizes from different marketing backgrounds, different companies, whether that is small startups to some of the biggest companies in the UK and globally, and showcasing the amazing work that they do as well. And then on the next slide, amazing. So, I mean, number one is an incredible privilege to be sat here today. It feels amazing. We feel very, very lucky. And we do have ambitious future plans. And I think that the prize funds that we've got today is going to really help us to scale those plans. So we plan on creating a scalable sector-pillared global marketing group. With those funds, we also plan on expanding our team and capabilities, particularly in AI and tech services, which is an area that we're very strong, but of course is growing and changing all the time. And then finally, we plan to open our second UK-based office to support that regional growth as well. So,
may I ask which city would you open the second UK office?
So it'll be still in the southwest. So our head office is based in Swansea, but it'll be southwest England. So in Devon, we'll be opening our second office.
And how many people will you employ there, just to show their job creation?
Yeah, absolutely. So we plan on in 2026 hiring 3 people within that office, and then further people within our Swansea office as well.
Great, excellent, well done. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
So let's do the check.
Yeah. Sorry. Yeah. And straight to me. And then once more. Must be one without the check.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, waving's good. Yeah. Without the check. And then there. And then straight to me. Perfect, thank you.
Amazing, thank you, thank you.
All right, thanks a lot. We're doing very well for time, so we have about 10 minutes for our first prize winner. And this prize is £150,000, which is it's a good sum of money for a startup. And you've seen the startups we're awarding are already doing millions in turnover, but another 150 as a grant. It's a complete, it's a gift. It's not an investment. It's not a loan. This is not like Dragon's Den. This is an actual grant from a charitable foundation to a business to keep and to use in their business. So the first prize winner is. From the car contact.
So yeah, thank you, Sir Stelios, and yeah, well done to the other winners as well, and the whole foundation for obviously awarding me this. So obviously, I'm buzzing with the achievement. So yeah, some experience. So yeah, next slide, please.
I have to say, I don't mean to steal your thunder here, but I was impressed by the scale this business has achieved in a very short period of time. So you should tell them how many, what is your turnover in such a short period of time, which is what impressed me, and that's why you are the first prize winner.
Yeah, I do talk more in detail on the next slide about it, but turnover for the last financial year was just over 20 million. So we just did our best ever month in January, which was 3 million turnover in just 1 month. So we're trying to push on to do over 30 million just this year. So yeah, I made up with the growth myself.
Bravo, well done.
Thank you.
And how old is the business?
3 years old, literally this month. So so I'm only 30.
And remind me, how old are you now?
30. So
well done.
Yeah, thank you. So I think you touched.
All right, I'll shut up now and let you present. Okay.
Well, you said Stelios about me starting at 27. So yeah, that's something you touched on when we spoke, wasn't it? So so my journey so far. So I started in the motor trade at 21, and I started at a local car auction, which was in Chester, so not too far from where I live on the Wirral. So I just started off in a new business role. I was just having to ring car dealers and get them signed up to the auction. And, kudos to my old sales manager. He heard me on the phone and he said, look, I think you can go into sales. He said, you've just got that gift of the gab and chatting away. So, fair play to him. So, he's a big part of where I'm at the moment. So I progressed into a sales role in the company and became the Ireland area manager. That's not how I met my Irish wife, but Ireland area manager. So Brexit didn't particularly help at that time, but I got past that hurdle and became the Scotland area manager as well. And then after 4 years in that role, I was headhunted to start up the car trade division at a Volkswagen dealership in the Midlands. So I started up that role, heading that role on my own, and made a great success of that. I did some car buying for the dealership as well, which is my experience now in this business. So I told my manager at the time when he headhunted me, look, I want to start up my own thing at some point. I said, look, I'll probably give you 2 years in this role, but I need to go and start my own thing at some point. So after 2 years, I went into him, handed my notice in, and started up the car contact on the 31st of October, and then started trading in the March. That's how I started up. Next slide, please. So I started the business myself in that March, so 3 years ago to this month. No funding or investment at all, just started up on my own, just saved a tiny bit of money from the last job that I was in, just to basically cover my mortgage of the flat I was living in at the time and, living expenses and things like that. But I really backed myself. But I covered sort of my overheads for, 2-3 months in case I didn't sell. But I knew I would, and I sold 2 cars on the first day of me trading, so I was absolutely made up with that. So I still retain 100% of the company at the moment, and I'm sole director. We're a B2B car wholesale business where we supply used cars to dealerships around the UK and Ireland, and we do dip in and do vans sometimes as well. So I know that it's called the car contact, but it's easier than changing it to the van contact as well. When we buy used cars, we buy them through our website and multiple other partnerships from ex-fleet companies, lease and rental. So if you go into an airport and you see, different places there that can supply your car, we probably buy from there. And I'd like to think if anyone buys a used car, it could have been us that supplied that car to the dealership or van. We're a high volume, low margin business model and buy and sell multiple cars daily. Next slide, please. So like I said a second ago about the turnover, our 2024 revenue was 9.5 million, and we grew that to last financial year 2025 to just over 20 million, 112% increase year on year. We're currently operating at gross profit margins of roughly 4%. So like I said, with a business model, high turnover, lower margins, but I'm majorly proud of the business model. For context, similar companies to us, I think we're a really niche business of doing what we do. I think we found a real good gap in the market. But the market leader tends to operate about 3% margins. So the fact we're beating that by a whole percentage is brilliant. And I have to give some kudos to Sir Stelios, because since the video call last time and me coming back off paternity leave, we achieved 7% gross profit margin in my first week back off paternity leave. So I'm really, really focusing now on getting that profit margin up and up and up. So our projected turnover for this year is just over 30 million. But if we can increase the profit margins like we did last week and really, really focus on that, then we can just, the sky's the limit, and we're just scratching the surface at the moment. Next slide, please. So yeah, the prize money, 150,000, obviously is a hell of a lot of money, and I'm made up to, get this award. So with that, we want to continue the business model, because when I've looked at our profit, the more turnover that we do, the more profit that we do as well, pretty much at a similar percentage. So that just makes sense to keep on scaling the business. So with this grant, we're just going to keep on going, and we're thinking about. We definitely will be taking more people on. We've got 2 live job adverts at the moment, and we're going to be taking on hopefully about 15 people just this year. So 15 more people. So I'm absolutely over the moon with that. We're also looking at securing a dedicated site where we can increase our storage capacity of obviously buying more cars. And increase turnover and profit once again. So once again, thank you, Sir Stelios. Well done to the other winners, and thank you to the foundation as well. And that's it.
Well done, Dan. I have a question for you. Stay right there. I couldn't help thinking that I have a car expert, an expert on valuations of cars. And my standing joke usually with the previous winners is, what did you do with the car? Did you buy a Porsche? So my question to you is, with £150,000, what can you buy today in the UK?
Well,
if you decided to go for a sort of supercar, and I know there are more expensive supercars, but what can you buy with 150 grand nowadays in the UK?
Well, it's funny that you asked that, because I put a LinkedIn post the other day about we just bought our most expensive car ever since starting. That was 120,000, a Mercedes AMG GT, and it was pretty much 3 years ago to the day when I spent £500 on buying a van off someone through the website. So brilliant to go that far. But that Mercedes would set you there and still give you 30,000 of change. So not too bad.
That's great. So don't spend it on the business, so you can buy a lot of cars with the profits rather than spend it on a car.
Oh, definitely. But thank you once again.
Well done. Thank you. Let's do the check as well.
And then the form without the chest, if that's okay.
Yeah.
And straight to me. Lovely. Thank you. Thank you.
You're awesome. All right. Congratulations, everybody. We are on the dot. So thank you very much for zooming in. We had more than 50 people at some stage. Congratulations to the winners again in the room, and I'm sure you will enjoy a nice lunch. I'm sorry I can't join you, but I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.
Thanks.